Undead Ratór. I'll give it to the fairies who put Balvanios in its current state. Their ability to place a curse upon a curse is truly impressive. It's not enough to mutate the rats roaming the halls to humanoid creatures. You also need to resurrect some of their their rat graves once they die, because the live ones aren't disgusting enough apparently. Found another typo. There's many typos, unfortunately. Hope they patch them at some point. All right. Yeah, that was actually a pretty simple room. It was basically going left, portal, right. Like you just go to the end of the hallway. It was basically a linear hallway where you were unlocking a door behind you every time you made it to the end of the. Every time you made it to the end of one side of the hallway, you would unlock the door on the opposite side of the hallway. All right, that was all a secret. Yeah.
The companions entered the tower to the sound of an altercation.
Have you surrendered? Yet you don't need to. I practice the old faith, same as you. Lies, no human is to be trusted.
Is this the man we seek, Elia?
Campbell can hold his own, but I know he would appreciate your assistance.
You see, Yoshka, we do get to fight some living rat warriors, just like nature intended.
All to save a Taltosh. What have I become?
And there they are. Ow! I didn't like this. Can you stop? It's not nice. Oh no, 2 counterattacks? Not good news. Let's just try to slow them all down. And there's the tanking. All right. Wow, they're in a bad state. We're about to lose that character. Fast and evasion. And yet 100% chance to hit. Oof. To magically do 15 to 20 damage, or just hit them for basically more damage than my actual casting. This is 18 plus 26 plus weapon damage and stun. So this could be a lot of damage. Yes, it can. Damn. No, you killed my spellcaster. What the hell? I was taunted. Rude. Wait. Did my skeleton use taunt and override? No, you also have taunt. I have 2 characters with taunts. They must be using AoE. That's unfortunate. She's getting very easy to kill. There's some need for a heal, I suppose. You're all out of energy. It's not the most efficient way to heal when only one person in the entire fight is damaged. There you go. Probably should have attacked this. Oh, no, never mind. He died of the dot. Spellcaster's still killing everyone from beyond the grave. Man, you made an enemy. They're messing up my skeleton. There we go. That voice actor was having fun with those rat noises.
Well, wasn't that some spectacular timing? Elia, it is lovely to see you once more. I see you brought some friends.
In a manner of speaking.
Oh, don't listen to Yoshka, Campbell. His mother was a Seba's son.
Ha 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 ha!
I don't know what that means.
So many months have I longed for companions. Your arrival is most welcome.
Does that mean you'll assist us in our quest to save the Sun King? You'll provide us passage up the World Tree?
Of course. I was headed that way anyway. We just need to face a few simple challenges first.
Simple, you say?
And my mother was a Sepasoin. Did I say that right?
Is there anything else we should know about this place, Taltosh?
Please, call me Campbell. And yes, but I'll save it for a surprise.
The good kind, I hope.
First up, a test of strength.
Quest completed. Explore the castle. We have a new character already. Damn. Gonna be hard to set them all straight. Oh, right. I can't pick them from here anyway. Sorry about that. The word Ratór translates to rat guard in the tongue of the gods. Now, as hilarious as it at first might sound to imagine an actual typical rat suited up in armor running around alleys stealing cheese, it all becomes considerably less amusing when they equal your height and fighting ability. Well, they didn't. Either of those things. They're considerably closer to our height, but they're not very tall, and at least they didn't seem to be. And they definitely didn't equal our fighting ability because they all died. Spoilers. And fight well they do. I don't know who taught these tailed terrors how to wield a sword, but they do so with grace and even a respectable sense of style. It's as though they studied the moves of the knights who used to live in Ballard, and they did so with such proficiency that they became natural warriors. Or maybe the fairies just blessed them with such abilities when they mutated them to rule this castle after the Count decided his kid didn't need to be taught the ways of the old faith. Now I'm just imagining that incredible scene in Ninja Turtles where a tiny little puppet rat is like practicing kung fu or whatever, and that's the explanation of why Splinter knew kung fu after he mutated into Splinter, the humanoid rat. Is he studied martial arts when he was a normal rat. I just had a strange thought. The rat men live here now. It's their home. It's being invaded by unwanted visitors with their own agenda. Their first instinct is to exterminate us. Perhaps rat and men aren't so different after all. Ha! Almost had myself believing that philosophical crap for a moment. We're still way, way different. Are you though? Yeah, no, these are seemingly sentient creatures and we're invading their home and killing them all. We also did that to the frogs, so like that's just what we do, apparently. That's kind of the inherent problem with games where you have to kill a bunch of humanoid people that can wield weapons, is that they're people. And the body count is the death of people. Smart enough to use weapons, at least. That usually means smart enough for most things. 1 firewood added.
As the companions camped, Sebastian and Elia relayed the story behind the curse of Ballard.
The new faith was gaining popularity. This did not sit well with the giants and fairies of this realm, themselves being actual living symbols of the old faith. Working together, they constructed Balvanyos, a haven for those who would not succumb to the new faith's nonsense. No offense, Miss A.
None taken.
They welcomed Count Opor to preside over the castle, which he did for many years to the satisfaction of all its creators. Until one day he fell in love with a woman named Imola, whose family devoutly followed the new faith.
Imola's family would not allow her to wed a man they labeled a heathen. War seemed inevitable. Had the Count put out the call, I myself would have fought alongside him to honor the old faith.
But a compromise was made. Though Count Opor refused to convert, he agreed to allow his firstborn to grow up a follower of the new faith.
Which is exactly what he did. Their child was indeed raised as a follower of the new faith, and the fairies took action.
They cast a curse upon this place that stands today. They transformed the rats of the castle into fierce human-sized warriors. They established menacing traps.
And the ancient elemental. Don't forget the ancient elemental.
And we've stopped here to brave all these hazards for the sake of our new Taltosh friend here.
That's very nice of you to say, Yoshka. Very few have ever considered me a friend.
Oh yes, you, Keller, the old man, an old hag who constantly berates me. I'm making friends all over the place here myself.
Get your gold ready. New stock has arrived.
Why am I reacting to his voice like he reminds me of, like, a bird from a Jim Henson movie? Oh god, what's that? Oh, there's a fantasy movie with like a puppet or animatronic or costumed like bird man who kind of talked like that, actually. My first instinct's always the Skeksis from Dark Crystal, but no, I don't think that was Jim Henson, actually. I think that was it did Jim Henson work on that movie, actually? I don't know. I'm thinking of Neverending Story, I think, has the giant bird person that kind of talks like that. I don't know. Let's see what he's like, because he's probably rad. Bloop. Hey, Yoshka. Ah, we have room for one more person, apparently. Who pulls their weight the least in this group? Maybe Sebastian, actually. He's kind of a weird bit. Spellcasting seems so powerful compared to rogues. Like, these two actually have heavy-hitting physical attacks. Specifically, this guy keeps the whole party alive. She's ridiculously powerful, and he might be a spellcaster, which makes me wonder if he's also ridiculously powerful.
Wondering where I put all this gold. Let's just say there's a lot you don't know about me. Perhaps one day you will know more.
I feel like every single thing she says is a joking reference to the fact that her traveling merchant with a magic bag just basically, generally, like, makes no real sense. And so like, wow, I'm mysterious, aren't I? Can you tell how mysterious I am? Ooh, we have to do these. Boost your intelligence and wisdom by 25% for 3 turns. These boosts always feel a little weird. I like the one where I can boost the entire party, but just boosting myself, I sometimes feel like it would have been more effective just to cast stuff during those turns, but I guess that's a downtime turn, potentially. Fortifying the mind needs neither poisonous nor waterfront plants. The main ingredient hails from the woodland and has sedative properties. I assume main ingredient means the first one, so woodland, sedative. The fungus you need comes from the antibiotic plant. The one from the field is last. Field is last. The crop and root are after one another, but neither one of them is first. The healing crop would ruin the potion. So the crop is not healing. The healing crop would ruin the potion. So one of these is healing and one of them is crop. Because sedative's already taken. Poison and waterfront are not involved. Oh yeah, mountain goes here. Okay. The fungus, the crop, and the root. So those two are not first, so the fungus is first. So it's a sedative fungus from the woodland. Okay. Wait, what? The fungus you need comes before the antibiotic plant. The one from the field is last. Okay, so antibiotic, healing, healing crop is bad. So antibiotic crop, root. Yeah, we're fine. That big pause I had was when I thought I read something that broke the entire system I had, but then I read over it again. I'm like, wait, no, I'm completely wrong. I'm fine. Whoa, it's time for the big ones. Oops. 30% damage resistance for 3 turns. The fungus and petal cannot follow each other, nor can the root and crop. So it's gonna go fungus or petal, root or crop, fungus or petal, root or crop, or vice versa. It's blah blah blah. The antibiotic plant grows in the mountains and is second to the last. By the way, this is not how... Why would anyone write recipes this way? So antibiotic is second to last. It grows in the mountains. First, use a healing plant from the field. Before you add a root to the mix. There we go. Immediately, root and crop cannot follow each other, so crop's over here, and those two are petal and fungus. The petal doesn't have a healing property, so you should put it in the cauldron after the poisonous woodland plant. So the petal is not healing. And it's after the poisonous woodland plant. Ta-da! Little logic puzzles. Those were like my favorite kind of puzzles to do when I was a kid. In elementary school, I was in the gifted and talented program, which basically meant they were like, hey, you seem to be doing well at school. We're going to take you out of school to go into a weird program that's supposed to encourage you to be smarter or whatever. But largely, it seemed to be a program where they mostly wasted my time with like random stuff. So like I was missing out on classes that you would think I'd want to be in to largely do kind of whatever. There was a little experiment. There was a little thing where we read about like how there's a Mars 2030 program, a mission to Mars. I don't know if it was a real mission or a fictional mission that we were reading about for thought experiment purposes or whatever, but I did end up doing a lot of logic puzzles for whatever reason. I can't remember shit about what happened in that program, but it really did feel like it was some kind of weird thing that took away from my ability just to do normal elementary school, while not necessarily actually replacing that with much. It felt like a weird inclusion. Let's not look at the vendor yet. Let's look at the vendor a little bit. Steel gloves. Whoa. So decently strong defensive gloves. So not that big of a boost for Meze. And they make you more vulnerable to lightning. Red leather armor. Just armor. Well, 12 shield icon there. Daphne's dust poisons your enemies, because that's so effective historically. Wood to build a campfire. I'll hopefully never need to buy that stuff. Troll blood. A thick slimy acid which burns down the skin and meat to the bones. Acid attack. Alternate attacks are nice. Kind of expensive. Let's rest, but let's not save until I level up my character. Oh god. More leveling. Okay. Oh. The character who leveled up is the one I just switched out. Huh. Okay. Who got new? Oh, Campbell got new things, technically. So his special thing here is whenever you take critical damage, you reflect 25% of the taken damage. Or ferocious. While below 40% health, your critical chance is increased by 10%. Neat. I don't want him to be low on health, though. Caw. Let's go to the skill tree. Spirit Raven, Spirit Wolf, Spirit Bear. So he's definitely a druid. Kind of could tell that from the onset. So the Raven can do caw, make loud caws to deal lightning damage to all enemies. Weird, but okay. I mean, That's just a thing, I guess, right? Black birds that use lightning attacks, because like that just happened in Devil May Cry. Gaze of the third eye. Make terrifying noises to frighten all enemies for 3 turns. Chance of success is 70%. The frightened enemy's damage is lowered by 50%. Good defensive skill to use. Conjure Raven Spirit. Remove all debuffs and recurring damage from all party members and shift into a white raven form to gain the following bonuses. 20% evasion, plus 20 wisdom, plus 20 intelligence, minus 15% energy cost, minus 30% strength for 3 turns. You can't use skills outside the raven talent while in another form. Are they saying that when you are in this form, you can only spend spells from this tree here? Sun Glare. Create a blinding glow to reduce your enemy's hit chance and fire resistance by 35% for 3 turns. Neat. Fire Breath. Deal a bunch of fire damage and plus weapon damage to your target with a 12% chance to die immediately. A lot of instant death spells. Just a small chance, but it's there. It's like an ultra crit. Spirit Wolf Frostbite. So frost plus weapon to your target. Conjure Wolf Spirit. Deal a bunch of damage plus weapon damage and shift into a gray wolf form to gain the following bonuses. Lots of initiative. 5% evasion, 20 vigor, 20 strength, 50% fear resist, 20% extra attack chance, 20% counter attack chance for 3 turns. Can't use skills outside the wolf talent while in another form. Huh. So he's got a full-on shapeshifting tree. Raven, wolf, and bear. Body of Ice. Transform your body into ice to gain 100% frost resist, 20% physical resist, and negative 30% fire resist for 3 turns. During the transformation, your body bursts out a cold wave which deals 7 to 10 frost damage to your enemies. And you can tell from the avatar, from the icon, that it's specifically, he doesn't turn into a wolf, he turns into a werewolf, like a humanoid, because it's clearly a dude standing up with wolf features. Whereas this one is an icon of just an actual bird, but that's a wolf man. Spirit Bear. Knock down your enemy to deal a bunch of damage and stun for 2 turns. Decent chance of success. Conjure Bear Spirit. 35 vigor, 35 strength. Damn. 15% health on top of the vigor and strength. Okay. Reduced agility and evasion. Bonus damage. Bonus physical resist and stun resist. A lot of stun resist. You can't use stuff outside the bear tree. Roar. Removes buffs and taunt status from all enemies and frightens them with the 75% for 3 turns. Frightens them with 75%. That's just weirdly phrased. Rage. Rage through your enemies and deal a bunch of damage several times. An unspecified number of times. Huh. Well, he's peculiar. There's wisdom, intelligence in the Raven Tree and some fire resist at the end. Spirit Wolf comes with a passive for extra attack chances and counter attack chances just stacked up here, and some damage bonuses. Even initiative, which he has a 43.5? Odd. Yep, and then the Bear's Tree gives you vigor, strength, block chances, a bunch of damage bonuses. Interesting. Unfortunately, the character comes pre-specialized, or pre-unspecialized, because it'd be very tempting to fully embrace one of these trees individually and just go all in. Because specifically all the passives in a given tree benefit the particular build of that shapeshift. But I guess being able to shapeshift into different forms could come in handy. I guess it's a little disappointing how few moves some of them, specifically the wolf form actually. Yeah. Like primarily... Oh, jaw lock. Did I skip that? Lock your jaw around the enemy. You get 30% damage bonus, but you can't attack another target while jaw lock is active. You can just latch onto somebody and keep going and going. Huh. So Raven has the most skills. The lightning AoE, that isn't very strong, admittedly. That's Frighten. And that's Frighten, so multiple Frighten options. The Raven has multiple elemental attacks between lightning and fire. Thankfully, we don't have to make our choice yet, so I get to test run the moves I have here. It's interesting that he comes pre-specialized in Raven, and that we already have that form and not the other ones. So you kind of have to make the leap and hope you like them, I guess. He'll be odd. Alright. Now that we know what these are, I can get some idea which one of these I want to have. Okay, so this ice attack is a wind attack. Knockdown is also a wind attack, but Raven is dark. No sun attacks. So let's get rid of the sun skill and replace it with this other one. Because, yeah. That's a good passive. Reflecting crit back at people. It's just a bit, but it's something. Alright, I need you to have skills. I need you to wear things, please. Oh, wow. You can't really use much in that slot. Not gonna lie, I have so many items that I'm kind of skimming through based on what the game reports as being the best one. Vigor and poison resist is kind of disappointing. Some strength. Health and physical damage. He could use the horn. So he comes with the Barbouche. 1-1. 5% health, 5% fire resist. I feel like we can do better than that. That doesn't seem that great, but the health percentage could come in handy, actually. Especially if he goes into bear form. Like, that's 5% health, that's 10% health, and the bear also adds, like, a bunch of vigor and health to the top of everything, which can add up to being a lot. Hooded tunic. That'll work. What are you using here? Saber, 3 to 8. Plus some crit. It did say plus weapon damage for some of those skills back there. Not for any of the Raven attacks. Oh no, Fire Breath is weapon damage based. Knockdown is weapon damage based. There's some reason to have actual strong weapons on this character. And he actually does have the hit points to potentially last not having a shield either. He's a tanky character even without going into his tank mode. So maybe I will play with the halberd for a big old chunk of damage. I have stuff like this that would potentially be an upgrade, but he would require 35 strength, and he had... oh, 33. So he's got strength too. Okay. He should prove effective in all sorts of ways. Ooh. Emergency mage. You deal 15% more elemental damage if your energy is under 30%. Is that new? I don't want your energy to be low in the first place, but bonus damage doesn't hurt in that situation. Is that worth potentially reducing some sun? I think I want her to save energy. I'll stick with that for now. Alright.
You seemed very excited to find the Horn of Lehel, Sebastian.
Lehel. Wasn't he the heathen chieftain who invaded lands that practiced the new faith?
The hero chieftain, you mean? Yes.
I know this story. After a failed invasion attempt, Lel was brought before the opposing forces' emperor. When asked how he wished to die, Lel requested his horn, the one Sebastian holds now, and said he would blow into it one last time in reply. And then
Lel used the horn to crush the Emperor's skull, killing him instantly. You will walk before me and serve me in the other world, he declared, knowing that any man whose life he ended was destined to immortally serve him in the afterlife. My apologies, Miss A. I just get so excited when it gets to that part.
What happened to Lehel after that? Did he escape to lead an army once more?
Oh, gods no. He was promptly hanged.
Rather anticlimactic, don't you think?
I mean, there's not much escape from that scenario, is there? Back to the top, it looks like. There we go. Alright. Yep, bunch of micromanaging. We gotta learn our new character each time, and then also figure out, or at least try to figure out where we want to go in their tree. So, every time I get a new character, I'm just gonna stop dead in my tracks for a little while and just try to figure out what they are. Neat. Oh, hi. You know what? Let's do this. Let's test out the new boy. Please stop focusing on my mage. It's not very nice. Wow, she takes so many hits before the fight starts. That's lightning to everybody. Whereas this lowers their attack. Yeah. Nope. Did that only frighten like 2 people? Fear. 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 No, if it got like 3 of them, the damage is halved. And that's good. This can also frighten people. You know what else can frighten people? Being lit on fire. No, stop countering her. No, her poor health bar. At least they're being forced to focus on my tank now. It's just a swarm. It says that, the description says that it caws. It looks like it sends a swarm of dudes. That spell's overpowered. Wow. That spell is absolutely overpowered. I just one-shot their group practically, like they weren't that hurt. And then they were all dead. That's just questionable.